back to the South Main Auto Channel. So we're going to continue on with this 2006 Chevrolet Colorado. It's got the big Hossy 2.8 liter 4-cylinder in it. And if you're keeping up with where we're at with this diagnosis, we got to the point where we've checked the cam crank correlation the best we could, and we don't have a known good waveform to go off from. So now we're at the point where we've gotten to process of elimination, I guess. Cam sensor looked good, crank sensor looks good. We've determined that the camshaft actuator appears to actuate, best we can tell. So, being that it's a correlation code, the only thing that makes sense is stretch timing chain. So we're going to tear into this thing and see if we can at least verify that. Guess as good as mine at this point. I'm going to do the best job I can to show you guys what's happening. You know, obviously with any job, first and foremost is that I have to get it done, you know, for the customer, because this is a real person's car who's really waiting for it. So we have to do that, and we have to be mindful of that. Of course, a lot of times front cover engine work, you know, timing belts, jobs like that, they're just difficult to record, particularly, you know, doing it by myself. I don't have anybody to, you know, hold the camera for me or anything like that. So I'll do the best I can so we can all see, because this seems to be the big, you know, the big mystery out on in the forums and even on professional networks, professional forums on ATN and on SureTrack that's out there, where a lot of, you know, professional technicians will subscribe to, and you know, we'll share waveforms and discuss problems. This is always an open-ended discussion. Everybody has this problem. They swap tracks, they change every part possible, and nobody ever fixes it. So I'm hoping to gather some definitive proof. The thing I'm after the most is a waveform, because that is the proof. If we had a known good waveform on one of these and had on, you know, one of these forums or waveform sharing sites that we could all look at, then, you know, we see with math that we can figure out how far off the cam is in relationship to the crank. But I couldn't find any published information as to what it takes to generate the code, as far as how far off from, you know, how far out of correlation do they have to be, and from what point are you measuring it from. So I'm hoping we can gather that and provide that information. We're going to have to just kind of deal with the background noise. For whatever reason, the noise of the furnace, which isn't a noisy furnace, is amplified like tenfold on YouTube. We're not even like 1 minute in.
It's always work to do besides YouTube.
I am. We're right in the middle of a high-tech investigation, in-depth analysis. It's like part 2 or 3.
You don't even know what's going on.
No, we don't actually. This is off camera. Another camera. I don't demand. I don't care what one you do first. A lot of people do. Negative. Got a little extra add-on wire here. I don't know what that runs to. We have to remember to hook that back up. Alright, so that's unhooked. That's always step 1. So they tell me. What we're after here, we have to take the valve cover off. So that's where we're going with this. Little rip and tear here. Hose clamps, got some bolts over here on the upper air intake. I don't know what you call it. Crankcase nut here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So there is on the back, it's once you take the 2 bolts out in your hose clamp, there's air's got to get back into the crankcase somehow. So there's that hose. Looks like old Mickey and friends is moving in back here. A little collection of stuff. just have to pull the throttle body to get this valve cover up and out of here. Looks snug. No wheel screwdriver. So I did look on Mitchell. It says you have to pull the intake manifold, pull the valve cover. Well, that kind of sucks. It kind of looked that way to me. I'm kind of curious though if we can just yank the throttle body off and get it that way. I don't know. But you know what? We're gonna try it. If we can save a little bit of time doing it that way, that would be wonderful. I'll get some light in here. Looks like this job's getting serious. Serious business. Get these plastic locks unhooked if we can. Man, everything's got locks. You know what? I guess it's better than the not, the little red locks. Man, those things are awful. I'm just going to go ahead and get these coils peeled out of here, get some of this wire harness unhooked. Then we're going to see if we can pull the throttle body, get the valve cover off. If we can, we just got to pull the intake, which is all there is to it. I suspect that we will have to, but it probably won't come up high enough to clear the cam. That's my guess, where it goes over. That's got us pretty loose there. They don't make these connectors for big meat nugget fingers. Camshaft actuator solenoid over here. Trying to get us a little bit of breathing room. About as good as it gets. One back here. Is that it? All right, got that out of the way. We'll yank our coils up out of here. Harnesses are off. Here it goes. Amazing how strong a piece of plastic is. Little Christmas tree connectors. Sheesh. Ah, man, I could have come up with something a little different. Okay. I'm pretty sure if it was just a matter of pulling the throttle body, they would have stated that, but I could be wrong. So explain this to me again.
So there's a guy on the phone that is looking at a truck to buy. It's an '02 Chevy Silverado 1500.
Okay.
And the owner said that it needs a oil pump, so he was wondering price range to replace the oil pump on it. And also if you could take a look at it maybe Monday or Tuesday to see if it's worth buying.
It says that all it needs is an oil pump, huh?
I don't know. That's what the
That sounds like a good quality used vehicle. So how do we know that the oil pump's bad?
I don't know. That's what the
You want me,
owner
you want me to tell you how?
told him.
You want me to tell you how we usually know the oil pump's bad? We're driving along, all of a sudden the gauge goes to 0, the genie light comes on and the motor goes.
So supposedly it runs.
Oh, yeah,
and
no, it's old.
Bring it here.
So this might be a bargain of a truck if the owner thinks it needs an oil pump. He's selling it for dirt cheap. And we all know these Chevys, the oil gauges quit working on them. So that's my suspicion. Might be a good bargain because if the guy's selling it for a super low everyday price, and all we need is a $15 stepper motor from eBay. All right, let's do some off-camera discussion. We can run people's phone numbers here. So there's one bolt right underneath this plenum. That looks like it's a real pisser to get to. But I think it might be worth the struggle to see if once we get that loose, if we can take the valve cover off. So we'll try to get that bolt first. I mean, if it's impossible to get out, then we'll pull the intake. But the intake doesn't look like it's a real walk in the park either. I don't know if we gotta pull the alternator and all that happy crap to get that off. So let's see if we can get the one nasty bolt out first. Hopefully another one. Go back there and not. Yeah, that one won't be too bad. Just this one here that gives me some concern. It's like right there. So if we could drill a hole, it'd be perfect, but not an option. Bolts that you can see that you can't touch, they just frustrate the snot out of you. We got that bolt loose. That wasn't too bad. Just use an offset wrench. Got it loose. You reach under there and kind of work it with your fingers. You can get it. So it's pretty tolerable. But for some reason, I highly doubt this is going to come off. You got to take it loose anyways. I'll finish zipping all the bolts out. We'll give it a try. I was able to get in there, just had to use a little swivel socket on the other one near the intake on both sides. So not too bad. Everything came out pretty easy. Now, got the moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this Velcro loose first. That cracked the seal. Oh man, we forgot a bolt. Look at me, forgot 2 bolts. Jeez. Gotta pay attention here. This thing's got a lot of bolts on it. Didn't forget any other ones, did I? I don't think so. There's... Alright. I don't think it's gonna come off, I'm not gonna lie. But we have to take it loose anyway, so we're not wasting time, you know. Is there a bolt in the back? Oh man, there's one way in the back. Jeez, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to edit this part out. Missed 3 bolts. Terrible. I didn't miss more bolts, did I? No, okay. I'd turn the camera off and edit this part out. Nobody'd be none the wiser, I guess. There, okay. She's loosey-goosey. What do we got? Come on, baby. No, it doesn't even kind of try to tip or anything. clearance, I don't believe. I don't think it's just the bolts that are holding this up. You know what I'm saying? The bolts just hanging down in the holes. Get to them. Maybe. No, sir. Son of a hoo-ah. All right, well, it's definitive. We gotta pull the intake. It is not coming off. What are you doing? Huh? Here comes Trinity. Huh? What are you doing, honey?
I'm giving this to you. It's
What is
way
it?
too heavy.
It's way too heavy. We'll bring it here.
I don't know what is it.
Oh, you don't know what is it?
No.
You don't know what it is, you mean?
I don't know what
Oh,
it
I know what this is. So we gotta pull the intake, like I was saying, where Trinity came out. So we gotta pull this battery out. It's bolted down. Pull that out. We gotta pull the alternator off. You know, we gotta pull the belt off anyways. We'll get this fan. We'll get all this crap out of the way. And that, folks, right there, that is just piss poor engineering. 1/4 inch is all I had to take off this intake manifold, or a little bit more of a degree of angle on it. You know, if this was about air geometry or something. I don't know. Engineers make the big bucks. We don't. They don't have to work on this crap. But that would have made all the difference in the world. If they had, you know, engineered that a little different so the valve cover would come off, we could probably save, you know, an hour or so off the time. But I also think things are built to where they are so confident that they don't believe they'll ever have to be repaired. So, you know, that could be taken into account too. I don't know. See if we can get this fan yanked up out of here. This fan put out and some more working. Quite enough power. There we go. I don't know why I haven't bought the air hammer attachments for fan clutches yet. I just haven't. I haven't had a need for them yet, although it might be a little bit quicker, but we'll leave that right in the fan shroud. We'll have to unhook our radiator hose. And there's not even any bolts in this fan shroud. We just rip and tear. In order to get the shroud out, we have to unhook this radiator hose, which the system's full of coolant. Ooh, that's a little grenade waiting to happen, isn't it? One of those locking clamps. And they gonna whack right in a fingernail. That's what. So we're gonna spill a little bit here. We gotta pull the water pump anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Just have your bucket ready. That's easier than fighting with a petcock or anything like that. Trying to find it, crawling around on the ground. Good big catch pan. We've got the AC line on this side. Look at that, and I think we just pull. Look at that, no tools required. Lean it back, grab a little bit of fan. Don't want to hit the radiator with my fingers. Looky there. I'm gonna keep it from peeing all over, so you just hook your hose back up. Like I said, we gotta pull the yank the lower hose off anyways, because the water pump needs to come off to take the cover off. So that's kind of where we're at. It looks like this radiator does not even have a drain on it anyways. That's handy. We're gonna take over right here. We're making a mess. This See if we can't get this hose unhooked. Oh, come on, you sucker. Man, what? Those locking clamps, they should take a tremendous amount of power to engage them. Have your bucket ready. Well, that wasn't very dramatic. Now take the radiator cap off, that'll make her go. No. Drama-free zone here, people. Well, we're right here. I might better do a little ripping and tearing. Find the right socket. Whoa, wrong direction. That could have got ugly. Looks like our tensioner there is going to be right up in our way. Take that off and I'll zip his that. That's out of the way. We got on that. Big honking 24, I think. Oh, come on, baby. You know you want it. Well, that ain't cutting the mustard. Wish I could play music on YouTube, because right now I'd kick on Thunderstruck. We'll get up in here with the old Thunder gun. This beast is about 15 years old. I don't know if it'll make it. I don't have my short 24 deep is broke. Or shallow, rather. So we can just give it a whack to get it loose anyways without hitting the radiator. I don't want it to get all super loose and come out and smash the radiator. Alright. Busting out chrome. And 1,800 foot-pounds, supposedly. Foot-pounds of weak sauce. I just filled the impact up with oil. Gives her one blasted turbo. Point that away from something. See if it's got, give her dings here. Oh, man. I seen her budge a little. Okay. came right out, piece of cake, man. No problem. But it's got Loctite on it. Freaking Loctite. Did what it's intended to do, I guess. It's probably the thunder gun that got it loose. The Nano is pretty powerful, but it was not going to take that bolt out. So here's your water pump on these big Chevys. Kind of a weird looking unit. Let's see if we can get this things off here. I think we've got the right style puller. Hopefully. It's either right or it's wrong. We're on a thread here. Let's see if we can get it moving first anyways. Yeah, we ain't got much thread, but that's okay. Saga. Oh, that comes off easier than the bolt did, I'll tell you that. Now, where'd my hose go? Alright, we're out of threads. Get a longer rod. Story of my life. So the rods just go in and push on the inside of the crank. So you're not jamming up the threads there. Ah, you big dummy. Always going the wrong way. Yeehaw! There she is. So I'm just looking at this. And this appears to me that the AC compressor is also in the way of our timing cover by like 1/4 of an inch. I mean, I swear, like nobody can think when they put this stuff together, and we can't just walk it off there because we got a dowel pin here. We've got a dowel pin here, and they're metal, so you know them things are going to be just wicked crusty. We're going to be pretty hard pressed to get off without breaking the cover, so we're going to have to be super careful there. Come on, GM. Man, that stinks. So it looks like I probably have to read the directions. It looks like we've got to pull the AC compressor off too. Jeez, you might better just yank the dang engine out of this thing. Because we got to pull the oil pan, because where the oil pickup tube is. Lovely. Well, on that note, the whistle went off. It's noon. Lunch is ready. Well, I don't know if it's ready. We'll go and harass Mrs. O, see if it is ready, see what we're having. And probably gonna take a little break on this because I've got other stuff I need to get caught up on a little bit. Give Josh a hand. I got a couple cars left over from yesterday, so we'll do that and we'll pick back up on this in no time flat. We're coming in.
Great.
Something missing here.
You forgot to make lunch?
Oh, I thought you were making lunch.
I thought you were making lunch today.
No, we come in for lunch. We're hungry.
I'm hungry too.
I'm starving.
Are you hungry, Trinity?
Huh?
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you look hungry. What about Sheba? Are you hungry, Sheba? You don't really care, do you? Just up in your box. Well, we have good for lunch today. Anything delicious?
Something delicious. I mean, isn't everything?
Basically, everything except salad. You got a lot of heat on your last video.
I was gonna make you salad today.
Were you really?
Yeah.
They say that the food that I eat should be eating the food that you make me eat.
You can have some of that too.
Oh, excellent. Sheba. Alright, we're back at it. It's almost the end of the day. About 4 o'clock. We lost a little bit of time. What are you gonna do? Got busy. Let's get started. Of course, it's also the time of the day when phone's gonna start ringing off the hook. It's almost 5, so everybody's gonna come pick up their cars. Stopping in. They like to talk. I like to talk, so I don't know how far we're gonna get. I believe we left off with me complaining. We have to pull the alternator off here. Get that out of the way, because we have to take the intake manifold off to remove the valve cover. We have to remove the valve cover to do the timing. Alright, that's it. Looks like there's 3 bolts on this little guy. One down here. There we go. Connectors off this guy. There's that one. Being a little 2.8, they really kind of shoehorned this thing in here pretty good. See what way this alternator comes out of here. Cut this AC line loose. I think it'll zip right out the front. Back in there. I think we gotta pull that idler off. 13, nope, not 13, 15. Get that out of the way. Then I'll slide a ball out probably. I'll punch somebody in the face again. Stupid shit. There we go, fell right out. Looks like our oil dipstick is in the way. Gas line's in the way. Vacuum booster, map sensors unhooked. Wire connector. Everybody pay attention so we know where all this stuff goes. Wires unhooked. Evap. I think the rest of it we gotta do through the wheel arch. Funny thing is, it looks like somebody's already been here because I see the wire looms all down here unhooked. Well, except for that one. We got some wire looms already unhooked. Interesting. That gas line is hard piped. This bolt here is already loose. Look, it's got, you can get your screwdriver behind it. That sucker better not be all stripped out inside that plastic intake. I'll lose my mind. Nope, they just left it loose. Good. We don't have to lose our mind. So we just could probably lightly, very gently, it's like we're dealing with a little lamb. We can probably just tweak this out of the way a little bit to get our manifold out. I don't know for certain. It'll probably be like the valve cover. It will lap like a 1/4 of an inch. Seems to be the theme. All right, take her up to the top floor, man. So I want to be able to reach in past this little rubber flap without having to fight with the little rubber flap. So I'm going to pop all these little clips up here. Now this isn't a typical fender liner like it is on the half tons. This has got metal behind it. Good old American steel. So we can only take the little rubber flap off here. I'm starting to think I should just pull the engine out of this truck. Because I honestly believe I could do it in half the time that it takes me to do all this. Plus we still have to get the oil pan off, which I think is a job in and of itself. It doesn't give us a whole lot of extra room, but a little bit. Oh, there's a manifold bolt. Looks like a lot of them underneath this this wiring harness is the big deal here. All right. So there's a metal bracket on the intake manifold. There's a couple bolts on that we have to get to. I think the rest are underneath. There's one way at the back there. Now we got that bracket loose. The whole bracket feels wobbly, so I don't know if it's missing a bolt down here. Well, there's a lot of the wiring harness in the way, so kind of a pain, but we'll see what we can get to. So there's one wire clip underneath that I had to get off. It's just all wire loom holders. I can't fathom it's just these two bolts. One on top. Perhaps it was, but I would have thought it would have been bolted underneath too. This thing has just got a ton of wire loom holders on it. Let's see if we can get it to fit out of there. Yeah, see, I figured it was missing a bolt, so somebody's had this out before. I took this bolt and this bolt out. You know, obviously we unhooked all these, you know, wire clips that were everywhere, and then our fuel line, our dipstick tube. It's supposed to have a bolt here, but yeah, at least we're not the ones that left it off. All right, so we got that bracket out of the way. Back up to the top floor. I think all the bolts for the intake manifold we can see through the wheel arch. We'll peel them off, then we can get our valve cover off. I think that was our original intention. I don't think you guys will be able to see much of this. Oh my gosh. We get a long magnet handle, the black handled one. This should be a real treat to put this thing back together. Okay, are they grounded bolts? Okay, now I take back that statement. I think the bolts are stuck in the grommets. You'll see them, they're way the heck up in here. they must be stuck in grommets, so you can loosen them up without them all hitting the floor. There's one of them. It's way the heck up in there. None of them are very tight. I'm just using, you know, a 1/4 inch wobble, 10 mil. And I can reach right up in there and get to them. Okay, I got one way up there in the front. I don't know how many there's supposed to be. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably one hidden one. Something. I think I see it. Right up above the starter. Is that it? Only that, 6. Now I'll have to see. See if the intake came loose. Can't see now. Oh, it feels loose. Must be, there's gotta be more than what I'm seeing here. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one right there. There's not a bunch of them through there. 97. There's probably one. Yeah, there's a couple that are, let me show you. So right here, let's see, where is it? Yep. You have to give her the old classic reach around. Reach right through there. I have to get in there with an extension or something. Get them loosened up, but yeah, right through there. You can't see them, but you can feel them. Wrong air ratchet, you fool. At the end of the day, okay. Oh, is that it? Is there just, oh. All right. Now, the big question is, we tweak this little guy up out of here without pulling the dipstick. And the answer to that question is yeah, we can. So there she is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, see, there was one up here. Somebody left that one loose too. I didn't loosen this bolt up. Oh wait, that one I did. This one I did not. Did I? Yeah, I did. Never mind. I take back all those statements. This one is towards the rear of the head. You can get that one from underneath, so it's this one you have to get from up top. You got to get the old 2-finger tickler there. Now we're back to where we started, which was, let's whip this valve cover off here real quick. Like a little money. Couldn't because our stinking intake is in the way. Now my wiring harness is in the way. Everything's in the way. Cut this little guy loose over here. There's a wiring clip on the power steering pump. There. Now we're free like Willie. Okay, let's, because I'm just dying to know if it is stretched. If it's stretched, can we tell right now? So I got our handy dandy micrometer. What we'll do, set her up here in millimeters. And let's get a value, if we can, a pin-to-pin value. See, this thing only opens up about 153. Let's get as much as we can. Let's see. So that is 147.46 millimeters. Let me take and lock that value. Actually, I'm gonna get a wrench and stick on this cam. This should be. Now that's stretched pretty tight. I'm happy with this reading. So head of pin to head of pin. Yeah, make sure there's no play. I'll try to get as accurate as we can here. Yep, no play. 147.48. Let's just drop back another pin. Yep, same thing. Yep, so that's pretty consistent. Yep, so we got 147.48 millimeters. So I guess what we should do, let's count the number of pins we have here. I guess I won't paint them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 pins. So that's 19 pins worth. Let's check the new one. 147. All right, let's see if we can take an accurate measurement on our new chain. So we got something to compare to here. Try to keep it flat as I can and get a measurement. $146.88. Just skip some, see if we can repeat that. Oops. $146.88. No, 146.88. I think that's going to be our number. Trying to hold it taut. $146.84. Yeah, I think we're getting a little precise there. $146.89. Oops. Yeah, $146.88. So we'll say $146.88. Okay. So we are 146.88 millimeters. And originally we were on our chain over there. It was 147.48 millimeters. So what's that put our difference at? 147.48 minus 146.88 is 0.60 millimeters. That's our difference. So we take our 0.60 millimeters, we'll put that over 19 links, or 19 pins rather, and our chain has 168 pins total. So we'll cross multiply this, so 19 times 168 divided by, oops, did my math wrong here, 19 times 168 divided by 0.6. Well, let me try this again here. 0.6 times 168 divided by 19. There we go. That gives us total 5.30 millimeters difference. Okay, so we have, so this will be X. So our X equals 5.30 millimeters difference, old versus new. So what does that equate to? Well, we measured 19 pins. So in 19 pins, there's 18 links. And we know how long our new chain is well, we know the length between 19 pins, so which is 18 links. So we can take our known length of 146 point, what was our new one? 88, 196, or I'm sorry, 146.88 divided by 18. So 146.88 divided by 18 equals 8.16 millimeters per link. You following along there? So we got 8.16 millimeters per link. Our difference is 5.03 millimeters difference. So that's almost a full link. Not quite. So another factor that we know is the number of teeth on the crankshaft pulley. So we have 29 teeth. I just spelled teeth wrong. You fool. Teeth. Let's try this again. We have 29 teeth on the crank. On the CKP. So if we do 29 divided by 360 degrees, what do we get? 360 divided by 29. I wrote that wrong. So that is 12.41 degrees per tooth. So 12.41 degrees per tooth on the crank. All right, let's see here. So 12.41 degrees per tooth. And we're off almost a link, so almost a tooth. So instead of figuring out the difference here, let's say, just for the sake of argument, let's say we're off 11 degrees of crank. That is 5.5 degrees on the cam, roughly. So let's say we're 5.5 degrees off on the cam. Okay, only if this is our crank, this is our cam, chain goes around, only half of that number is what we're off, because we're only talking half the chain distance. Yikes, so that's only approximately, we're approximately 2.5 to 3 degrees out on the cam. Is what I'm figuring, based on, along with these measurements, there's variables, pin thickness and stuff of that nature. But we're approximately, if the math is right, 2.5 to 3 degrees out on the cam. So now we'd have to go back and look at our waveform to see how many teeth. I wonder if we can figure that out real quick. How many teeth, let me get the right mouse, were in that waveform. I can't remember right offhand. We'll see if I can find that information. How many, when we were looking at the AC waveform on the crankshaft, So that's gonna represent each notch of the reluctor wheel. I wanna say it was like 58. Let me hop on the component tester here, and then we can figure out, we can call our waveform before we even look at it. So we'll go here, we'll look at, see how many this tells us. Okay, crankshaft sensor. This should give us some information on that. Okay. 58 teeth. So it has 58 teeth. Okay, so we can do 360 divided by 58. 6 point, oh, it tells us right here, 6 degrees apart. So there's 6 degrees. So we're only going to move about a half a hump on our wave. That is interesting. Well, I just double checked my measurements again. Redid the math. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's getting pretty interesting now, because if that's right, that's 3 degrees on the cam. Each of those marks on the crankshaft is 6 degrees, so we're only talking, approximately half a mark. Of course, more than half of our chain loops around and goes to the side with the sensor on it. Well, I wish I knew what the PCM looked for. If it looks for that, if it's a half a tooth off, which is impossible. Besides stretching, your timing can't be a half a tooth off. Is that why that our first one in the first video, that blue one that we looked at, it was only about a half a tooth difference, or a half a waveform difference, about 3-4 degrees difference in this, and that only had that pending code in it. That's kind of bizarre that would make this, if it, obviously if we put this chain in and it fixes it, that makes these systems pretty dang sensitive as far as what the PCM looks for and is considered, out of spec, correlations off, the relationship between the two parts. Obviously there's a difference here between our new chain and our old chain, but when you look at the numbers, I shouldn't have looked at the numbers. I'm not sure, and I have nothing to go from. I wish I knew, looking at an actual known good waveform, because this would tell me right now if we're barking up the wrong tree. But we're going to keep going because we don't have a 100% confirmed known good waveform yet. We're going to have when we're all done. So that's the best I can do for right now. This is always home cooking dinner, so I'm going to head home. We're going to end this one right here. Pick back up on this tomorrow. Fingers crossed, people.